Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit ActiveDay.com to apply.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Goal!
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. It's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3, OTB 104.5, ESPN Baton Rouge. Going to catch up here with Ryan McGee, ESPN SEC Network here in hopefully a couple of minutes, and going to continue to break down the matchups there in Omaha. But one of the things Ryan does such a fantastic job of is really painting the picture and doing a deep dive into the details of like wherever he's going, whatever he's covering there. So looking forward to that, and let's go ahead and get into it now. Ryan McGee, my guy, joins the show. What's up, sir? How we doing?
We're good. We're busy. Busy's good, and it's time to get on with it, man. It's I spend, I'm really fortunate. I got this ridiculous work calendar, and everybody else does Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, whatever. I do National Championship, Daytona 500, Indy 500, Omaha. So it's time to get on with it.
Absolutely, man. And you just dropped another great article, Road to Omaha, how the Men's College World Series became a town's pride and joy. It's on ESPN.com now. Go check that out. And one of the reasons, man, Ryan, I wanted to have you on because you do such a great job of just detailing and explaining like what this event means to Omaha. And you just laid out like what you get to do. And look, you and I are very fortunate we get to do very, very cool stuff like that. But like Omaha, when you go there, like it does feel different. Like it feels like a place that is special. It feels like everybody there is just so happy to be there. Where would you put Omaha in all the experiences that you get to have throughout the sports calendar? Where would you place Omaha kind of in the pecking order there?
Man, it's tough. But just personally, like emotionally, it's my favorite event.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, I grew up, you know this, I grew up in the Triangle in North Carolina, Raleigh, and, that's a college area. And so I grew up, and my dad played college baseball at East Carolina.
Yep.
And so I grew up going to college baseball games at NC State and UNC and, East Carolina, Wake Forest, Duke, and there'd be 15 people there. It'd be me, my dad, my brother, like some girlfriends of the players, and a couple scouts. That's it.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here watching Duke and North Carolina Super Regionals. And so I would hear about Alex Box Stadium, and I would see, obviously Rosenblatt Stadium on ESPN, and it all just felt so giant.
Mm-hmm.
And so my dad and I first got to go to the College World Series together 25 years ago. And it was Father's Day weekend. It was perfect. And so I wasn't there working. I was there as a fan. And my dad and I went several years in a row, and I've been almost every year since and getting paid for it. And it just feels different. I mean, LSU fans know that because they're a huge part of it. And, which is just, it's like homecoming. It really is. You go there, and if you've been once or if you've been 20 times, like LSU has, the guy at the hotel, right? And the bus driver, and the people at the drover, the steakhouse, and it's people at the stadium. It's homecoming, and that's why I love it so much.
And not a lot of times, can you survive, changing things up when you have an event like Omaha? But there was a new stadium, and I remember being worried, oh man, Rosenblatt was so iconic, and all my childhood memories of watching and Warren Morris and the home run against Miami. Are you going to lose that? They've done a really nice job, Ryan, of still being able to keep that same magic, even though they're in, a newer kind of state-of-the-art facility there, which is not always easy to do.
No, and the first couple of years was tough.
Yeah.
They turned the stadium for this beautiful view of the city, but the problem is the wind blows in that way.
Right.
And so there's no home runs. And, and the ballpark's very, Rosenblatt was quirky, but you know this too, man. Rosenblatt was the best. I miss it. I have a seat in my house. I go up to the site. If folks don't know, you can go to the Rosenblatt site, and there's home plates there. Warren Morris's, right field foul pole still there. It's all still there in the parking lot, and it's great. But I was worried about the new ballpark, and the first couple of years went great. But now the neighborhood has grown in around the ballpark.
Yep.
And, downtown Omaha has become really what 13th Street, the area around Rosenblatt, used to be. And so we've grown into the place, and now it's got its moment, right? I mean, the LSU Wake Forest game in the semifinals, 3 years, that's the best game I've ever been to in my life. Well, maybe the best sporting I've ever been to. And so now it has these moments, and it has its champions, and it has all these things. And so it's grown up. But I was worried about it too, and quite frankly, so were the people of Omaha. People of Omaha, they want to build that stadium. The NCAA was like, you either build a new stadium or we're out.
Right.
And so to the mayor's credit at the time, even though he just got crushed by the public, it was the right thing to do. And now, we all still call it the new ballpark, and that thing opened in 2011. Right. I mean, it's got almost a decade and a half in. So
you can almost drive great. Legally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love the fact that it's in the same spot every year, and we cover events like the national championship, and I'm not going to call names, but there's some places that it feels more of, hey, I am here for the national championship. There's some places we go to, and it's like, does anybody in this town know that the national championship is being played in this stadium coming up in a couple of days, right? But I think when you have it in this, I don't want to say it's not a small town. Omaha's not a small town, but you know what I'm saying. It's like this town that cares so deeply about having this event, and they cater everything to this event, right? Oklahoma City does it for the Women's College World Series.
Yep.
I understand moving things around, the dollars and cents of it, but Ryan, when something is constant and it's there and the people care so much about it, even if you don't have a dog in the fight, you can go to that event and you can appreciate everything that's put into the event.
75 years that it's been in Omaha, which is crazy. But listen, the greatest sporting events in my mind are the ones where you can't separate the city or the town from the event and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, you can't imagine the Rose Bowl anywhere other than Pasadena. You can't imagine the Masters anywhere but Augusta. You can't imagine, it's the Indianapolis 500. It's the Daytona 500, right? I mean, so when you can't separate it, it's important. And that's why I think that it won't ever move. And part of the reason for that is the people of the NCAA, they love it as much as the people in Omaha. I remember I wrote my New York Times worst-selling book, back in 2009, The Road to Omaha. And one of the whole chapters was the insurance man and the Pope. And it was Denny Pope, who was the baseball administrator for the NCAA forever, a great football player in Missouri. And then it was, Jack Deasing, whose father founded, the hometown corporation that runs the Omaha side of the College World Series, and now he runs it, and one day his daughter will run it.
Yeah.
And they're like brothers. Their kids babysat each other. And so it's just family. It's the best way to describe it. And I don't think that's, even though it's definitely more corporate and it's definitely downtown versus being in the meat packer neighborhood where it used to be at Rosenblatt, it still has that feeling. Yeah. And you can't separate them. You can't imagine one without the other. And listen, we're living in this wacko time where money runs everything. I get it. But I think that's part of why, even if you don't have a team in the series, you go, because it kind of taps into what we all love about college sports. It's one of the last places left, like Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series, one of the last places where you go and you're like, all right, this is what college sports is supposed to feel like.
Right. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you, and it's one of the many things that makes it special. Like another part of the College World Series that I always enjoy, and look, if LSU's in it, come on, I'm not going to act like I'm not rooting for my Tigers, but also when a team like Murray State makes it, and we've seen teams make runs before. I mean, Fresno State finished the deal in 2008. Coastal Carolina, the run that they go on. I mean, it's one of the best parts about college baseball is because we get these Cinderella teams that just get hot and they find a way, and they're throwing 88 on the mound and not 96, but it's working for them, and they got the ultimate belief. Like this Murray State team, I know that you have to, kind of enjoy kind of getting ready to cover them. I mean, the coach is still mowing his own grass. He was only making 2 years ago $68,000 to be the head baseball coach there. And even with the bump in pay he got, it is not even a fraction of what some of these other coaches are making. Like, what a great story Murray State is. And Murray State's had moments in other sports, but for the first time, their baseball program gets to the College World Series.
And it's perfect that in this 75th anniversary of the series in Omaha that Murray State's in. Because if you know your history of the series, there's almost always one team.
Yep.
I mean, almost every – that last year was it was all SEC versus all ACC. And that's fine. And it's certainly great for business if you're the co-host of Marty McGee, right? I mean, but I kind of was sad because you want, but almost every single year, right? Stony Brook, just a couple years ago, fans to this day talk about when the Citadel made it and upset the number one team in the nation in the College World Series. And that was 30, 40 years ago. And so, I mean, you go back to the history of it, and it's,
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Maine and Hawaii and Harvard and, even Southern Miss, who's always had a great baseball program and had never made it to Omaha. There's always one, almost every single year. And so I was glad Murray State made it, and I hope they make a little noise. And, I don't root against teams. I stay neutral. But there was, and I got a lot of friends who work at Duke, but there was definitely a part of me that wanted Murray State to win that game Monday night just because I wanted an underdog at the College World Series.
And I'm right there with you. It's like I got nothing against Duke. I'm the same way. Like I know people that work there and in different athletic departments, but it's like, how do you not root for what Murray State's trying to do right now in the path, right, that they went through? I mean, Not just Ole Miss and Oxford. I mean, Georgia Tech had a real case to be a regional host as well, and they go through them. I mean, they were not given anything too, which makes it even, that much better, I think, in the fact that who they had to go through, they earned the right to be there.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And they you can't take the road they're taking. It's funny talking to my friends down at Ole Miss. They were all rooting for Murray State because the team that you lose to, you want them to at least make it to Omaha, right? You don't want to lose to them and then they go to Duke and get swept. And so, but that's the beauty of it. And man, let me tell you something. Yeah, I understand there are people that are kind of got their nose bent out of shape because it's LSU and Arkansas in the first round and the only two SEC teams. But dude, Saturday night, in Omaha, and you giving all those to me, the two most fun ballparks in the nation to go see a game are Baum Walker and Fayetteville and the Box.
Yep.
And now you take those fans and you put them all in a bunch of pickup trucks and drive them to Omaha, and you give them all day to get lubricated. And now we're going to play a baseball game. It's going to be. Oh, yeah. I'm so mad because I don't go till next week. I always go in for the second half.
Yeah, right. It's a long trip. Yeah.
Yeah, so the 1 year I convinced them to let me go for the opening weekend a few years ago, the morning I left was the morning that North Carolina State popped every COVID test in the state of Nebraska. And so I was like, so I'm stuck in North Carolina. So they were like, no, you're going for the championship. But the atmosphere on Saturday night is going to be off the charts. And this will not be the last time that these two teams play in this tournament.
I'm right there with you. I actually just got chills thinking about it. Like I would be in that number. That number is going to be loud. It is going to be I think I agree with you. I think like you throw Mississippi State in there, like whatever rotation you want, 3 best fan bases in college football, 2 of them playing against each other, rivals. I mean, opening night for them in the College World Series, prime time. Oh my gosh, that is going to be an electric atmosphere there. Any other games, any other teams kind of catching your interest there? Because I can't get away from Coastal Carolina, even though they have already won a national championship. They're on the scene. They've turned themselves into a blue blood of college baseball for as much as you possibly can. Right? You win a national championship, you're consistent. I'm going to give you that title, but something still feels like little disrespect whenever Coastal's brought up because they play in the Sun Belt. People don't understand. It's a really good baseball conference. And so Coastal's a team, too, that you win over 50 games. I think that's a team in bracket number 1 to eye hustle a little bit.
They haven't lost in a month.
Yeah,
there's a Life Day baseball game in a month. And Schnall, so Coach Schnall, who was a catcher there and played for – so folks that don't know, I wrote a huge story about him a year ago, but Gary Gilmore was the head coach at Coastal. He's the one that led them to the national championship in 2016. And Coach Gilmore retired at the end of last season, during the NCAA tournament, battling 2 different forms of cancer simultaneously. One of the all-time great guys I've ever known in college sports. And he called Coach Schnall and said, I need you to come home and take over this program. And all he did is get into the College World Series in his first year. And he was so chippy last weekend after they clinched their spot, saying, this team is not a Cinderella. Right. Everybody needs to get over that. Because the reality was, I thought they should have been a top 8 seed.
Yep.
I really did believe that. Kyle Peterson and I said that on our pre-tournament special on ESPN. We said, I don't understand why they're not a top 8 seed, a national seed. And so for them to be there is not a surprise if you actually follow college baseball. But it's a great story. And I'm not going to lie and tell you that I've watched a lot of Oregon State baseball this year. But this is a team that's won 3 national championships, in this century. And they have 4 or 5 guys with double-digit home runs. And they have, their shortstop's probably going to be the highest-picked college baseball player in the draft next month. So there is so much talent in this thing. And all right, to that point, too, you have Oregon State, you have Arizona, and you have UCLA all in the College World Series. They were all in the Pac-12, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it just adds to the frustration for the entire West Coast of what are we doing?
Right.
And you got one team in Oregon State that's in the Pac-2, that's about to become a bigger conference. It's so weird seeing them play with that big Pac-12 logo on their backstop. And then you got UCLA, who's has a chance to win the Big Ten's first College World Series since 1966. And then you got Arizona, who's an Omaha blue blood, and they're playing out of the Big 12. It's just, I just don't see how the Pac-12 people sleep at night, because they have just burned this thing to the ground, and they could be dominating the College World Series this year.
You're exactly. I mean, they would have 3 teams in it. It is, man, Oregon State story, and them, they have been left lonely on the dance floor, because at least those other teams did find like a major conference to go to. I mean, Oregon State playing an independent schedule, like that's like in football, it's difficult, but you can find a way to find some games. Obviously, Notre Dame's done it for a long time. UConn's going through it right now, but like once conference play starts in baseball, like those teams are playing, but they had to find somebody that might happen to be off, and they had to go to them. They played like 78% of their games like on the road as a national blue blood college baseball program. Like that's just wild to me.
No, they made it work, and I give them a lot of credit. I really, them and Washington State both in every sport of putting this thing together while they are they're also overseeing this, this reconstruction of the Pac-12. But but for folks that don't know, forever, the College World Series was dominated by the Pac, back then the Pac-8 even, and the West Coast Conference originally. And it was, USC still holds the record for the most titles. They haven't won one in a long time, but they still hold the record. Arizona State, Cal State, Fullerton, all these California schools, Pepperdine, Stanford, California and Arizona dominated the College World Series, no matter what conference they were from, for decades. And so it always makes me a little sad when there's this big map that's in the what they call the baseball village next to the ballparks, all the souvenir stands and beer gardens, all that stuff. But there's this big map that shows where every one of the 8 schools of that year's series is from. And again, it's great for me. It's great for Marty and McGee when the SEC dominates the lineup, but I don't think it's great for college baseball. And when I look at that map and it's got 3 or 4 teams from west of the Mississippi, that's great for the sport. And this year that map is the most evenly distributed that it has been in a really, really long time. And again, it's not great for the SEC co-host of the show, it's me, but it's pretty good for college baseball as a whole occasionally.
Right. I am right there with you. I totally agree. This year, it feels right. All right, he is Ryan McGee, good enough to join us. ESPN, SEC Network, Marty and McGee does it all. Also, ESPN.com, Road to Omaha, how the Men's College World Series became a town's pride and joy is on there now. It is a must-read. Go check it out. Ryan, man, we always appreciate the time. Look forward to our next conversation.
All right, appreciate you, buddy. See you later.
All right, there he is, Ryan McGee, good enough to join us here. And Ryan is so good at going somewhere like Omaha and just really telling the story of where he's at and what it means, and the people that make something like this happen every single year. So go check his article out. Again, it just dropped earlier this morning on ESPN.com. All right, we will take a break. We do have country music superstar Justin Moore set to join us in 10 minutes from now. Going to go ahead and let you know he is a Razorback. He is an Arkansas fan. He has promised not to call the Hogs on the interview. We'll see if he gets that done. More OTB when we come back your way.
Off the bench.
All right, good All-Star, not store. Hadn't heard that in a couple of days. I don't know what's going on. Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting. Every single thing is available. And it's not just lip service. I mean, this is factual. Right now is the best time to check out those rentals because you got a lot of different options, a lot of different ways that you can go, a lot of different trips that you can plan. It is summer vacation. If you're going to the beach, if you're going to that big tournament, softball, baseball, 7-on-7, trying to think what sports are in season right now, whatever it is, right? You got the end of the year tournaments. So maybe you need something a little bit bigger. If you're going to Omaha, I mean, go get a Tundra, go get a Tacoma, right? Because you got all the tailgating stuff in the back. I mean, it is a perfect time to call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department. All-Star, ToyotaBenders.com.
It's rare that you find people like us.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
All All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5, ESPN Baton Rouge. You can keep that going in background, Laundry, if you want. Inside the Bayou 4 chat, let us know what the bet should be. Justin Moore hopping on with us. Obviously, big country music star. Good friend of mine. Hosted radio with him. I mean, the guy's locked in, like knows sports and certainly the SEC as well as anybody. So he gets the game, is my point. Like, he gets what it means to root for your team. I mean, I'm thinking the one y'all laid out earlier, I think it was Alondra. Nice job. Him wearing an LSU shirt to one of his concerts.
Yeah, or
jersey. Or jersey. Hey, we can send him an 18 or a 15.
Yeah.
He can wear either one of us. Or, gosh, or like who broke Arkansas's heart like one time or somebody like, you know what I'm saying? Like what would be like a deep cut of somebody, Jarvis Landry, that catch he had?
I mean, Flynn kind of.
Well,
I don't know about heartbreak.
Yeah, Flynn lost that game.
Flynn lost because he was in the locker room getting shot up.
30-yard Hail Mary.
Actually, that wasn't Flynn's fault. We couldn't stop a nosebleed that game. Not bitter about it. I think Jarvis Landry might be a good one. Remember
Jarvis
that catch he had? That was a good.
So Jarvis had two.
Tyron.
Jarvis had 2 catches.
Tyron in 11 had a big game.
Tyron was good.
We'll come up with it. But if I lose the bet, I've got to, at SEC Media Days, sit there with an Arkansas shirt on and call the Hogs.
Anthony Jennings. He thought he had the game
like one pass, right?
Met gets hurt. He goes in there. He hits Traven Durrell to win it. Yeah. It was 2013.
That was Matt.
That was Matt's last year.
Wait,
that was his
what
last
year?
game.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
ACL?
Yeah. Tore it right there. It was actually
Anthony Jennings.
Okay, remember the catch that Jarvis had over that DB?
Yeah.
It was that play.
Yeah. Justin did just reach out to me. He's going to have to do phone instead of video.
Boo.
He said, I just went to grab my computer and it's on my tour bus. Not at the house.
Dang.
All good, though. All good. Looking forward to our conversation with him.
You know, our guy, Gold Chain Cowboy, Parker McCullough.
Yeah.
He didn't even need a bet to wear an LSU jersey on stage. He just wore one.
Did he?
Yeah, and I love it.
What jersey did he wear? Who did he go with?
I don't remember what number it was, but it was a baseball jersey.
And
it was a couple years ago when he was here in Baton Rouge, and we went to go see him, and he was wearing an LSU jersey on stage. It was great.
Because he's a Texas fan, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm going to see if I can find this picture of Parker McCollum in the LSU baseball jersey.
Yeah. I have
It's
one.
a purple one. I don't really
purple.
see the number there, but we're going to come up with some bet here during the break. We are going to reach out to our guy, Justin Moore. We're just going to do video. It's all right. Still going to have him on the phone. And look, we can make a bet, be it audio or video. That doesn't matter. So looking forward to that conversation. We'll have that for you when we jump back here. It is OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com. Trashrangers.com is the website, and you go there, and you can sign up for residential service, sign up for commercial service, sign up for those roll-off dumpsters, all right there at the bottom of the website. Now, one of the things that we want to make sure you know about them is they are going to simplify your trash disposal. They are going to, make sure you don't have any hidden fees. Reliable weekly service. Like, even if there's a holiday, like, they're going to find a way to schedule a pickup that week. They're not going to make you go 2 weeks without a trash pickup. Also, text reminders. Guys and gals, how many times have you been in trouble because you forgot to put the trash out? Trash Rangers does not allow that to happen. You're going to get that text reminder. Hey, my guy, go put out the trash. Just another great service you get from them. Give them a call today, 225-363-9053. Always online at trashrangers.com.
Let me talk to you, tell you how it is. I was thinking when I saw that body, gotta get shorty, tell her what the young boy gon' do.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
All right, welcome back in. It is OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Very excited for our next conversation. Good friend of mine, somebody I've co-hosted a show with over on Sirius XM. It is country music superstar Justin Moore, good enough to join us here down in Louisiana. Justin, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Doing fantastic. I'm getting excited about Omaha. I know you are as well. Of course, you know, our teams are going to meet up Saturday night, prime time. I mean, how we feeling? Like, we got to get a perspective from, like, the other side of the table. How we feeling for the Hogs heading into Omaha?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a travesty. I think baseball is my favorite sport. I don't know if you and I have discussed that or not, but and I love the format's great. I'm fine with that, but I think we need to reseed after the Supers because what I'm saying is a travesty in my opinion. I think LSU and Arkansas are the best two teams in the field. That's my opinion, at least. So for them to have to face each other, game one, be on the same side of the bracket, I think is a tough draw for both of us. Really, you know, it's just kind of unlucky. Plus, man, we played an SEC team for the Supers too, so I'm like, good night. Can we please get out of the SEC?
That's a great
but
point.
No, man, I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, both teams I think are playing really good ball right now. I think you guys would probably have the edge, in my opinion, in pitching, especially starting pitching and probably closing pitching. We've got a lengthy bullpen, but you never know. You know, Zach Root, who'll start against you guys, is our ace. And, man, when he's good, he's really, really good. But he's been somewhat inconsistent, you know, over the course of the year. But I would probably give the edge to our lineup, but not by much. I mean, I just think we may be a little longer in our lineup, maybe 7 through 9. But man, it'll be a great game, and I hope it's a great game at least.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be that, and you're right, Justin. I didn't even think about that. Like, you go through another SEC team in super regionals, and you want to talk about, like, Zach Root's somebody that's, you know, an incredible guy on the mound. It doesn't always have, like, the most emotion, but he had all the emotion against Tennessee. Like, that series, like, obviously with Tony V and Dave Van Horn, the history there, and Tony V's at Arkansas for a long time. It's been chirpy over the last couple of years. I mean, that was a series where Arkansas wanted to, like, show their dominance in a big way.
Yeah, you know, the first game was a really good game. I think it was 4-3, and it really could have gone either way. And their catcher, they were starting a backup catcher due to an ejection the game before, and I think we scored on a pass ball that maybe the starter don't have that pass ball, which he had a pretty tough game in game 2. But then in game 2, man, we just we had a couple balls fly out of the park. Maybe one of them shouldn't have. Kind of back spun out to left, and the wind was blowing out a little bit, and so it was good. But like you said, that's been a chirpy series. I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago. Coach Vitello and DVH got into it pretty hardcore on the field.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, they're totally fine, I'm sure, but the fans never forgot it. In other words, and you know, the way Tennessee plays ball, they've been great under Tony, obviously, and supremely talented, but they can be a little bush league, you know, with the bat.
You can say it. Hey, we're here in Baton Rouge. You're not gonna lose any fans saying that about Tennessee.
Yeah, they're you know, I just don't personally like the way they play the game. I just personally don't. But so that's kind of, I think, what happened as far as Root going off on. I think they call him Fish. I forget, is Fisher, I think, is his name. Who's a great player, but a little bit of a smart ass, you know. And I think he gave it to Root, and then Root gave it back to him. So, or vice versa. I don't know who started it, but it was. Well,
Root finished it, but whoever started it, he finished it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
How's everybody feeling down there? I mean, I think we're going into it as a whole. We're like, yeah, we got as good a chance as anybody, but we've been so heartbroken over the years when we thought we had really good. Well, we did have really good teams. It's just hard to win out there.
Yeah.
And so we're like, yeah, I think we can do it.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's like
until we actually get over that hump.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I asked you a question and I started talking again. How are you guys feeling?
That's what I was gonna say. Like until you finally do it, there's probably always going to be that feeling. And certainly Arkansas. I mean, they've been a pop up away from winning a national championship, but I think LSU fans probably feel like Arkansas fans. Like it is a very tough matchup. It's two teams that know each other incredibly well, and I don't know that there's ever been, like, you always want to win in Omaha, obvious, but I don't think there's ever been a more point of emphasis, gotta win this game, because a lot of us, just like you, think that this is a matchup between the two best teams. And if you win this one, man, it really sets you up for a nice path. And then the other team's got to come out of the losers bracket. Now, it's been done before. The last time LSU won a national championship, Justin, it was out of the losers bracket. But I don't remember, like, such a point of emphasis, my goodness, you win this one, like what that feeling would feel like and how good of a spot you would feel like you're in, because this just feels like the two best teams. It's not just us saying it. It's not you saying it. It's Vegas saying it. I mean, it is no doubt Arkansas, LSU, the two clear favorites here in Omaha, because after that, there's a big drop-off before you get to Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I've said it, I don't even know if I've talked to you about it, but I do a radio show in Little Rock with David Basil.
Oh, yeah.
Who I know you know.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I jumped off our show to jump on with you guys. I told Baz, I said, I'm going to talk to Hester. He goes, you tell him to back off. So maybe we can get you on our show.
Absolutely.
After the game, maybe next week or something. But I think you're right. But I've said this on our show. I think this is the first of two games that LSU and Arkansas play, regardless of who wins and who loses this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the same thing. I think these teams have to go through the other one another time, and that's going to be maybe even more of an intriguing matchup, because who knows what the pitching is going to be like, and that's why, like, winning that first one just feels so important. But I do have to say, Justin, so throughout the show, so we're also, like, on YouTube, we're on TV, and so we have interaction with, like, a little chat during this show, and they're always great. Interactions have been through the roof. Today, trying to come up with a bet for us, for you and I, to come up with a bet. Now, we got some time to work it out, but the best one that I've seen so far today, and I know you've got a couple of shows coming up. I know you're going to be in Minnesota here coming up, and so maybe it's not right now. Maybe we see who ends up going, the farthest down the road in the College World Series. But the best one I've seen is if LSU wins and moves on, you got to wear an LSU shirt, jersey at one of your shows for at least, like, a song. And then if Arkansas wins, I've got to wear an Arkansas shirt at SEC Media Days and also call the Hogs.
Wow. Yeah, that's it's going to be brutal for either one.
Look, I mean, I know your wife's family has, some LSU gear they can send. Look, we'll send you the gear if we have to. I mean, I know it's laying around the house there at your in-law. Like, somebody's got an LSU shirt they can send you.
Yeah, likewise. My wife, I think I talked about it last time I was on with you. But yeah, my wife's from Omaha, and so over the years there's been a lot of trash talk between us. Now, at the time we started dating, which was 23 years ago, our football program was winning a few more games, and so we haven't had a whole lot of stuff to talk trash about over the past few years, except for a couple of seasons. But yeah, man, it's always fun to give it to each other. I think that's what, to me, college sports are kind of makes them so fun. And I mean, you and I are on opposing sides and good friends at the same time. So
right.
To me, that's kind of what makes the sport so fun, and why everybody invests so much into it, and emotion wise, and So yeah, it's a good time. And so are you going to Omaha?
So if they make it to the championship series is when we're thinking we're going to try to get up there. With the afternoon Sirius XM show, like trying to figure out how to get there, how to do both shows is a little tricky. But we said if they make it to the final series, then we are going to drop whatever we've got going on and find a way up there.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly my deal. I've got to play shows. Unfortunately this weekend, and then let's see, I would miss game 1 if we happen to made the championship, but I could catch game 2 and if there's a game 3, but there's a lot of ball left to play before that I can make those plans.
I know. I'm sitting here and I'm like looking. I'm like, all right, it is June the 12th. I'm sitting here looking at Justin's tour dates. Ooh, man. Right like in the middle of the championship series. Like you're not far away though. It looks like you're going to be in Cedar Rapids the 21st, and so you can maybe play that show and then pop down to Omaha. Like at least you're somewhat close.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think I looked and it was 4 or 5 hours, something like that. So I could just pop over in the bus and catch the next game or 2 or whatever. So we'll see. But I last time we went to Omaha, it was actually Father's Day weekend again, and I came home on the bus from a show and exhausted and just ready to hang out with the kids. And my wife, as soon as I walk in the door, she goes, "Happy Father's Day. I got you a backpack. Go get back on the bus. We're going to Omaha." And I was thrilled, but I was like, I want to kind of hang out with the kids. And she goes, "Well, you can't. We're going there." Man, what a great experience. I'm sure you've been, but
right.
I couldn't believe the magnitude of what they do. I've never been to a Super Bowl, but that's what it seemed like to me. I mean, just how great a job that city does, and the atmosphere was awesome. Now we went 2 and out, which was not a whole lot of fun, but we had a really good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one, like you want to, whatever the peak attendance is and whatever like the peak crowd noise is, whatever like the standard is, I think it's going to be broken by Saturday night. LSU and Arkansas, for my money, 2 of the best fan bases in college baseball. I think it is going to be incredible. It is going to be packed to the gills. It's going to be loud. It's at night, Justin. Those fans are going to be well hydrated. They are going to have all day to get their mind right, ready for the game. Oh, yeah. And so, man, whatever like the best atmosphere in that stadium is, it's going to be passed up, I think, by what we see on Saturday night.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think both of our coaches, Coach Johnson and Coach Van Horn, have both mentioned that. It's going to be great. And I agree with you, too, that I don't see how there's 2 better, more passionate, well-traveled college baseball fan bases in the country. And so it's going to be elite as far as atmosphere goes. And, for a few years, man, until the last few years, we've had some really good basketball runs. But, we've had baseball for the past 20 years with Coach Van Horn or whatever it's been. And so that's what Razorback fans have had. And they go, okay, take a sigh of relief. At least it's baseball season. We know we're going to be good in baseball, at least, and we can compete with anybody, and we get, high-level recruits and all that. And so I think that's part of it for us, at least. And obviously you guys with the legendary coach, Skip Bertman, started that. It may have been somebody before that I'm unaware of.
No, it's Skip. It's all Skip.
Yeah. And then we had Coach Norm DeBryan who did that for us before Dave got there, and so it's we've had a lot of tradition. You guys more because y'all have gotten over the hump. What is it, 7 times?
7, yeah, 7 times.
Yeah. So that obviously is part of it as well, a huge part of it.
All right, there he is. Good friend, country music superstar, Justin Moore, rooting on his Hogs there in Omaha. Justin, let's talk some trash through the text thread. Let's come up with a bet through the text
let's
thread, man.
get this-
Looking forward to it.
Get this bet lined out, and I'm sure you and I'll be texting during the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no question about it, man.
Well, hey, good luck to you guys. Not too much
Right.
luck, but good luck to you guys, and it'll be fun regardless. Like I said, I hope it's a great game and a great tournament, and we'll roll it out there, see what happens, man.
Yep, no question about it, man. Truly do appreciate your time, Justin, man. I know how busy it is. I mean, you got tour dates coming up, so we appreciate a couple minutes here.
Hey, thanks, brother. Always good to talk to you. All the best.
All right, you as well. Again, Justin Moore, country music superstar, massive, massive Arkansas fan. I was looking at his Twitter bio. Father, husband, Hawk fan. Before he mentions country music, albums, awards that he's won, father, husband, Hawk fan. So, I mean, I don't think that a lot of people, like, with the following that he has, would have known LSU's current head coach, their former head coach, like information. Like, he would have known maybe his team. But when I say this man is a true fan, he truly is. And so we'll see what that bet ends up being. I think Alondra came up with the best one yet. We'll see if we can get him to agree to it. All right, we will wrap up today's show when we come back. A little Ask the Bench here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to getgordon.com. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. And when you go to the website, a lot of different things you can check out. Past client results, cases they can handle for you in the courtroom. You can find a list of their locations. That's like one thing, we always talk about is them being throughout the state of Louisiana. But let's list it out real quick. Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Denham Springs, Hammond, Gonzales, Houma, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Monroe, New Orleans, Opelousas, Shreveport, Zachary. I mean, they are everywhere in the state of Louisiana. And they've always got something going on as well throughout your local community, right? I mean, they are big, big supporters of every community that they're in. You can find all of that on social media. @GetGordon's going to be the handle there. And then, look, if you want to get in contact with them, it is your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB, closing out with a little Ask the Bench. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Do you loathe Eduardo Perez calling the College World Series?
Yes.
I don't know the guy personally, but if you haven't been there all season long, why would you be there in the biggest moment?
Yeah.
It's kind of my deal. And
he's just, I don't love him on any call.
ESPN's college baseball coverage during the year is better than any other coverage that they do as far as the talent that they have in the booth. Chris Burt, Ben McDonald, Todd Walker. KP, Calvary. Like I could go through the list of the guys that are just do an incredible job. And so, like, why would you go away from those guys for somebody that covers Major League Baseball that just doesn't know the ins and outs? And that's not even like a knock against him. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I can say that if I'm watching a baseball game, my guy's on the call there, like a Major League Baseball game, my wife will walk in and go, nope, turn it down.
Yeah.
Not listening to that. Mm-hmm. So maybe you're on something. Ask the Bench, why did T-Bob really leave Baton Rouge? Took a new job. He's out there doing some stuff yesterday.
The truth is he's on the run. He's trying to run the cops. Like, he's running from the cops.
T-Bob wouldn't run. He would just say, you got me. We'll see you tomorrow. OTB.
Off the bench.
All right. You got me. And, like, he would do that by the time he got to Port Allen, I think.
That's fair, because he did say if Caitlin cheated on him, he'd just be like, can
we act like that did not happen and just say, like, let's reset? And I truly believe that. Just like I believe in Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org. Not only in Central, in the greater Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you And also 24/7, 365 game day weekend holiday. Does not matter if you have that emergency. 225-925-8552. So like Saturday night, if you're watching the Tigers and the Hogs and all of a sudden you have a plumbing issue and you're like, oh my God, this is doomsday. Remember, Central Plumbing will even be out then. It is a weekend. It is a game day. Is it Flag Day? I don't really know. But still, Central Plumbing will be there every single time. CentralPlumbing.org, 225-925-8552.